Hello, I am Rembrandt. Guten Tag, I am George Friedrich Handel. Hi there, I'm Justina of Just Classical. Thanks for watching today, and I hope you were able to catch my session, How Music is the Perfect Avenue for Developing Leadership at the Life Skills Leadership Summit. So if you watched to the end of that video, you know I had a little commercial about the Composer Detective, which is why I was wearing George Friedrich Handel. And I have another course called The Artist Detective, in which I play Rembrandt as the host in that one. So just to give you a little of the personality of it, I thought I'd start with greetings from Rembrandt and George Friedrich Handel. So today I talked about how music is the perfect avenue for leadership. And I just want to say that here at Just Classical, we believe that music and art are essential parts of education, not just electives, and essential parts of being human. You see, music is intertwined in all of life. And so it's so important to expose our kids to all kinds of music. And it's almost like life has a soundtrack sometimes, just the songs that can help us with our emotions or help us with our learning. And I was even watching a video last night where a comedian was using an orchestra in the background to make all the funny sounds and all the funny little nuances of music that made his speech so much more interesting and comedic. And when you watch a movie, if you turn off the sound, it's just not quite as dramatic now, is it? So music is very helpful in creating soundtracks and emotions, and it's just an important part of life. So it's really important that our kids have it in their lives. It also is really important in children's development. Musical activities help in every area of development, and they're going to enhance learning and education. They help with the brain development as well. But of course, my focus today was how music is the perfect avenue for leadership. So I just wanted to review a few of the points that I went over. And then if there are any questions, I would love to answer them. So, first, I talked about how leaders must be listeners. And music, of course, is the perfect place for people to develop listening skills. And so music helps people to become better leaders through those listening skills. Also, leaders must be able to communicate. And of course, involvement in music is all about communication. There's a little give and take, and there's listening and adjusting. Also, leaders need to understand teamwork and collaboration. And performance in a musical ensemble involves exactly that, teamwork and collaboration, working together to create something beautiful. Leaders also need to be able to manage their time well. So, of course, when you're learning an instrument, it takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. And there are rehearsals if you're a part of an ensemble. So, musicians must learn to manage their time well. And this is going to help them develop those leadership skills of managing time well. Also, leaders need to be able to manage others well. They need great interpersonal skills because when they're managing others, they need to be able to recognize talent and inspire others to be their best. And they also need to provide the support that others need to continue to grow and achieve excellence. So, involvement in music does require a lot of interaction with other musicians. So, you are going to be able to recognize others' talent and encourage others along the way if you're the more mature musician, and you're going to be inspired by better players than you as you emulate other older musicians as well. So, again, the musical environment does help children and adults learn how to manage other people well, just being respectful of other people as well. So, leaders also must be able to adapt and be flexible. Well, music involves a lot of improvisation and it does require listening to others. It always comes back to listening. It's such an important skill. And of course, if you're listening to the player next to you, you're trying to make sure you're in tune with them, or you're watching the conductor and he's speeding up. So you need to be able to adapt and be flexible even within a piece as you're performing it or even practicing. So leaders must be able to adapt and be flexible, and so must musicians. So this is a great place to learn the skills. Also, leaders should have a vision and a plan for fulfilling the vision. Now, this would involve maybe a little bit more like if a person is planning an event, a concert, and all the details that go into planning a concert and an event, you need to have a plan. You have a plan what pieces you're going to play. You need to have a plan where you're going to do it and what things you need, like music stands and chairs. And so there's a lot that goes into that. And so when you're a musician performing in groups and concerts, you're going to learn some of those skills and how to have that vision and develop a plan. Also, leaders understand that everyone has a role, and when all the roles perform together, a beautiful work can be accomplished. Now, my kids are involved in sports, and I am an advocate for any kind of activities for kids because research does show that being involved in activities, sports and music and other activities are really important for children to become well-rounded, but also to use their time well, to be perseverant and learn all kinds of really important life skills. But when I'm talking about music, it's an environment where we work together. So my kids are on sports team, and there's offense and there's defense, and they have to be aggressive, right? We just finished a basketball season, and my daughter is learning to be more aggressive and maybe even steal the ball from somebody when she's playing basketball and rebound to get those things. So there's an aggressiveness to it, right? In order to compete in a sport. But with music, you're learning to work together in a non-aggressive environment so that you can have a finished product that's beautiful. And so leaders understand that when everyone is fulfilling the role that they're good at and perform together, they can create something beautiful. So musically or just in any leadership role, letting people be who they are and letting them shine. So a leader helps them do that, and music helps do that. Now, music also helps people to develop sensitivity to the needs of others. And as a musician responds to the emotional side of music, they'll learn to play with sensitivity and expression. And that helps develop leaders as well, who are aware of the needs of the people around them. So I want to also tell you a quote from Dominic Aldis. He formed this really neat group called, or I guess company called Music in Management. And he goes around and he does workshops for companies in which they listen to and interact with an orchestra or a string quartet or a jazz band, and they learn business principles of leadership. And he says, musical experts and business experts are concerned with so many of the same basic issues. So I'll say that again because it's really important. Musical experts and business experts are concerned with so many of the same basic issues: performance, excellence, teamwork, and trust. And that's where a company like his and just having our kids involved in music, that's why music is the perfect avenue for leadership, because we are concerned about the same issues. So that's just a quick overview of what I covered. And let's see if there are any questions. If you have a question, you can put it in the chat and I can answer. If you had any questions about my presentation, if you watched it before or anything I just said. And then I'm also going to share with you a few resources. So like I said, I have a course called The Composer Detective, and it is a year-long course with 10 units where we investigate the orchestra and we investigate 9 composers. And this is a music appreciation course because I'm focusing more on the listening side instead of the performance side in this because it's not really either or. It's not performance or music appreciation. You can appreciate music and learn to listen your whole life, but you might not perform until you're 90, but there's lots of people that perform till they're 90. But music is something we can appreciate our whole life. And so when we understand it, when we're exposed to it more, then we can appreciate it more and enjoy it more. So my course is more focused on the music appreciation side of things, not the performance. And I am running a special on it this week for people in the Life Skills Leadership Summit, and I'm offering it at 30% off. But I also, if you just want to get started and understand a little bit more about music, I have a great free guide. It's called The Quick Start Guide to Teaching About the Orchestra. So I'm going to put that in the comments for you. And then I still don't see any questions right now. I'm going to grab that link. Well, if there are any questions, you can put them in the chat. And if not, then I really appreciate you being part of the Life Skills Leadership Summit. Hopefully you have your ticket and you are part of it, listening to all the amazing teachers and encouragement. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the summit. And so I'm Justina of Just Classical, and I hope you'll check out the Quick Start Guide to Teaching About the Orchestra and the Composer Detective, and that you'll watch the session, How Music is the Perfect Avenue for Teaching Leadership. Thanks so much.